Right now, they're welcoming Tim Tebow. He's a former Denver Broncos quarterback. Let's check in with what they're saying.
That I'm looking forward to my time here in New York and my time as a Jet, and I'm so honored and humble to be a Jet. I'm so thankful that they wanted me, and I'm so excited about meeting my teammates. I've had the pleasure to meet quite a few already, and I'm looking forward to my future as a Jet, and I'm very, very excited about it. So with that, I would love to open it up for questions. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, welcome to New York.
Thank you.
I think there's been a little bit of a discrepancy between what John Elway said in terms of you having control over where you go and then what you indicated on Wednesday night in the press conference call. And I just wanted to know kind of why that was, or why you think that is, and what the story is behind it.
Okay. Well, I guess a little bit of the story was when I woke up Wednesday morning, talked to Coach Fox, and they were very gracious the whole time. Coach Fox I specifically talked to him a lot throughout the process, and so he kind of told me some of the opportunities that were out there, and then and so I talked to him about it, and next thing I know, I got a call from Mr. Tannenbaum and Coach Ryan, and they said I was a Jet. So I was really excited about that. It was something. So I was all right. I'm excited. When's the next flight out to New York? And I was excited about it. And then obviously the media circus happened, and I found out a few minutes later that there was a snag in the contract, and I wasn't a Jet. And so then it was like 5 hours of kind of waiting, and Coach Fox was keeping me updated on what was happening. And then later on in the day, they said, well, we have a few teams that are interested, similar deals, and so he was very gracious to ask me, what I thought, and so I talked to him, very honestly about it, and I told him I would love to be a Jet. I told him that also the Jaguars are my hometown, and whatever was best for them, and he said the same for me, and ultimately, they had my contract, and they had all the power, but he listened to me and what I had to say, and it was very gracious of them because they didn't have to do that, and they could have just done whatever, but he listened to me and talked to me, and I told him I would love to be a Jet. I love the coaches. I have had an opportunity to be with Coach Sperano the Senior Bowl. I had an opportunity to get to know Coach Ryan several times, and that was exciting for me. I also told him I would love to be a Jaguar. It was my hometown, and that would be exciting for me, and whatever was best for them. And so I'm excited to be a Jet, and I'm excited to be here.
Tim Tebow, now a New York Jet, coming over from the Denver Broncos, where he was quarterback there. We had Chris Farley step off the set for just a minute. He was talking about the Hunger Games, a new game we're talking about now. That's football. That's why we need Darren Everson. He's right here. So has this much of a to-do been made about second-string quarterbacks
It's
ever?
unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And you saw the Giants owner, Mr. Mara, commented on this, saying that we're going to have a press conference for our number 2 guy, David Carr, as well. I mean, this is unprecedented. I mean, this is a guy who, is going to be the number 2 quarterback. They're locked into Mark Sanchez as their starter. But what the Jets are saying is he's not just a backup. We're going to find ways to get him on the field. He's a football player. We'll see.
Does that, really, usually you're a quarterback and you're a quarterback. How often do they sort of rotate you into different positions?
They don't. I mean, there have been some isolated examples of this. You might remember Cordell Stewart, the guy who threw a Hail Mary in college to beat the University of Michigan, my alma mater. When he was with Pittsburgh, they called him Slash. He did a bunch of different things. He caught passes, ran the ball some, played a little quarterback. And you could see maybe that developing with Tim Tebow, but it remains to be seen. I mean, this is something that usually doesn't happen in the NFL.
So people say Mark Sanchez may be the sort of most nervous guy to have Tim Tebow in town, but what about Jeremy Lin? Now it's like Lin's sanity, right? It's all back to Tebow.
Well, they're kind of buddies. That's something that came out during the Linsanity craze, which seems like so long ago right now. And so it'll be interesting to see just how much of a star he is. I mean, we've never really seen anything like this in sports, where a guy who is the most popular player in the league is a backup. And there's no true clear path to him becoming the starter. So it's going to be fascinating to watch.
And the Jets wanted him because of that star power as much as they did for his playing ability.
The Jets don't say it, but that's who they are. The Jets always make the play for attention, whether it was Brett Favre, whether it was bringing San Antonio Holmes before, Jason Taylor, and now this. I mean, they have a quarterback. They just gave him an extension, and then now here we go again. And not only that, but they brought in a backup quarterback, Drew Stanton, who they turned around and had to trade away to Indianapolis.